Hi again, everyone. Scott Pyre, Pop Culture fan here, and in this video, the finale for The Penguin just aired last night on HBO and the Max service. So I'm ready to do my full series review of this show, and this show blew me away from start to finish. Like the cinematography, the lighting, all the acting across the board. This show really nailed it for me, and just left me with wanting more with this within this new universe that Matt Reeves has created with everything going on in this world of Gotham. And I like how we got to see more of the city in this series. And you gotta give it to Colin Farrell as Oz, a Penguin. He is phenomenal in this role. Like before this show, like my favorite portrayal of Penguin in the live action was actually Robin Lord Taylor on the Gotham Fox show, and after this, definitely Colin Farrell. Definitely Colin Farrell. He's easily my favorite portrayal of the character thus far in live action. I thought he had so much depth to his character, while also being just not a well, he's definitely a villain by the end of the show. He really is. This show was very much inspired by The Sopranos, so it's a mob story in the world of Gotham, and you have all these other characters that are like leaders for other crime syndicates and families in this series. You had Clancy Brown was in this season as Salvatore Maroni, and I liked his character in how we've seen Salvatore Maroni before in live action, but really here, like, I think the way he reacts to things. He's a very emotionally driven with his family, and he reacts based on how things are going with his family, and he makes his decisions based on that, which eventually leads to his downfall. I'll just say that. But yeah, and then also Kristen Milioti, I think that's her name. I think that's Kristen Milioti as Sophia Falcone, or Sophia Gigante in later episodes. She was phenomenal in her role. Like, she was a scene stealer. I thought they did such a good job with her character, especially with where things went in the finale, and how she got what was coming to her from Penguin's eyes, and she, in Penguin's eyes, fate worse than death is Sophia going back to Azkaban, or excuse me, Harry Potter's been on the brain lately, to Arkham. Arkham. Sophia going back to Arkham is, to her, a worse fate than death, and she never wanted that for herself. She tried to leave Gotham by the end of the show. But that's all I'm going to say in regards to potential minor spoilers in the finale. Other than the fact that where they ended it, it really gave me it actually gave me Psycho Bates Motel vibes, because by the end of the series, Penguin achieves what, was predictable. Because it's a show about Penguin rising to power within the criminal underworld of Gotham. And that is the one thing about this show that is predictable. Penguin rising to power, becoming the new kingpin of the underworld. That's predictable because we know where that's ending by the end of the series. But they left the final finale. They made it tragic in a sense that even though he achieves what he achieves, other things have made him completely broken, and as a result of that, especially with his mom, like Penguin's relationship with his mom was already shaky before the events of the series, and then because his mom has dementia as a result of things that have happened, and also how what happened with Oz's brothers like really affected both of them, and it had this really tragic backstory as it was getting revealed more in later episodes, which, ugh, Penguin is not a good guy. He really is not. He's really selfish, and you know, wow, disturbing too, to say the least. And this show did not shy away from, you know, violence and also a lot of swearing. There's a lot of swearing in this series. So this is very much TVMA R-rated territory. So do not watch this show if this is something that you were thinking would be a little bit more akin to the Batman movie. It goes harder than the Batman movie. It's a little bit more, I don't know, intense, I guess, in regards to, vocabulary. I'll say that. But yeah, although I also think that because of his relationship with his mom, like, that's one of the things about this show that left me pretty invested, actually, and how that story was being told. The writing was really good too, by the way. Like, they did such a good job with the writing, with the acting, the cinematography, just everything. The score too. I really like the new Penguin theme in this series. It played in the end credits of the finale too. And another thing about the finale is that in the last few moments of the episode, we got to see Penguin wearing a more comic book accurate attire, which was teased a little bit in this like really old film that Oz was watching in the penultimate episode, with like the top hat, and then the kind of suit that he normally wears in the comics. He has that kind of attire by the end of the series in the finale, and I loved that. And yeah, like overall, yeah, like the ending, he created his own delusion. Oz created his own delusion in the last few moments of the finale, which he's completely broken. He's completely broken. There's nothing that can happen now that can fix how he is mentally. He creates his own delusion. There's this one character that appears throughout the series that he was sleeping with. Her name was Eve, and she reappears in the finale. And then the way they take things with her character in the finale, where Penguin is creating his own delusion, that definitely gave me Psycho Bates Motel vibes. That's all I'm going to say about that. That is all I'm going to say about that. But yeah, wow, pretty messed up. Not pretty messed up, and it was a great finale. I think that this show will definitely stand the test of time in regards to what it has done with this mob story that it was telling, being well, it's an origin story for Penguin, and also setting up the Batman Part 2 and where Penguin will go in the Batman Part 2. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And there are like a few other characters that one was mentioned in the finale when Sophia was back in Arkham, which that was a nice reference to Selena Kyle. That's all I'm gonna say. And then also there was this one chief of police character that was in the Batman that reappeared in the finale, and it was more of a cameo though. But yeah, that was cool, and just a little bit more connective tissue there. And also, like in the final shot of the episode, there was a Batman reference with the searchlight that always has a bat signal, that had a sort of a scene in the final shot of the episode. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't worry. What I'll do is I'll put like a spoiler warning in the title of this video to let you guys know that there are some minor spoilers here. And yeah, that was a great. This was a great series. Definitely intense, and there was a moment in the finale that also surprised me, because another major character in this series was the Victor, the kid that was following Oz around. I liked his character. He was a very good-hearted person, and he grew close to Oz, which, I liked that part of the story. Because Oz had this kid Victor helping him as like an assistant, basically taking him under his wing, and I liked that aspect of the story because it helped humanize Penguin a little bit. But by the end of the finale, because Oz is so broken, there's this one line of dialogue at the beginning of the series where Oz says, "The world is not set up for the honest man to succeed," and that kind of goes into what happens with Victor's character in the finale. That's all I'm gonna say. But this was very much a tragic finale. That even though Penguin gets what he has always wanted, it feels like a hollow victory for him because how much he's lost, and he can't have anything to make him weak, which ultimately Victor, I'm not gonna say too much else, but yeah. Well, so this was a great series. I thought this was definitely a really great companion piece to the Batman movie, and also helps set up the Batman Part 2. It was a phenomenal show, and definitely an A+ for me. This was an amazing series. I have no flaws with it. It was perfect, if you ask me. So yeah, those are all my thoughts and my review of the Penguin. And I know that the Batman Part 2, it won't be coming out for another 2 years. I think in 2026 is when the movie will come out. So whenever we hear more about the Batman Part 2, I'll definitely provide updates for it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Peace.